Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, coming at you with my second team for the Hisui Cup. And this is a lesson in a team that theoretically works, but doesn't work in certain metas and when you're just in certain ELO ranges. So the team is Drifblim, Shadow Drapion, and Toxicroak. So basically Drapion on the lead because you will do well against Gastrodon, you do well against anything that can't hit a flyer, right? And then you're a flyer, so you're going to be weak to Bastiodon. So you have a Toxicroak in the back for that, and then you have something like Shadow Drapion to deal with your Frostlass and stuff like that with the crunches. So in theory, it worked. I started 3-1 with the team, and then I went on a 5-game losing streak, and then I scrapped the team because I just happened to be in an ELO range where there are very similar like team comps that just beat this team. So it's not a terrible team, but it just didn't work for me. But I still want to showcase it anyways, because I think it's important to show the teams that like could work in theory, but just didn't work for me, and it may work for you, or maybe it just didn't work overall. So let's take a look at these battles. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. So this team is still double weak in the back, I should mention. It's tricky because this team is double weak in the back to ground, right? So Gastrodon is going to hurt. I also run Aqua Tail on my Shadow Drapion because you only need 2 Aqua Tails to take out a Lucario, and you're going to outpace those 2 Aqua Tails, so that will give you a shield advantage, right? So that's how you flip shield advantage in the middle. So you still need to technically try and draw out a fighter, but when I'm in this matchup here, I'm like, okay, I want to see who wins CMP. I do. And then, okay, great. I won CMP. I can now probably bail. And I think they throw a Shadow Ball if I remember. So now I'm at an advantage because I was up, I baited. So then I decided to bait again here, thinking like it's a flyer, maybe it takes it out. It doesn't quite take it out. I think and then I try and go, and I know this is just an icy win, but it's going to hurt. So I think I shield anyways. And then I'm probably going to have to try and get out of here. Because I'm expecting some sort of... So Drapion comes in. That's okay. I eventually need to get out of here because you need... I'll do over my... Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Go over my video. I think it's on Monday about needing to um, pull out. If you're running AV, like lessons on pulling out, you need to... Lessons on making sure you get your weakness out into the battle here. So looks like they're running a pretty similar team to me. Um, it's the exact same team, actually, quite honestly, isn't it? Yeah, because they have the Drapion in the middle. Yep. So I go down here. I'm just going to come in here because I know that at best they can throw the Sludge. And a Sludge may not take me out. And then at this point, yeah, just one short. So if they let this go, then I can probably just counter down for the win on their Drapion. Yeah. So one crunch is not going to take me out. Obviously because it's resisted. I don't even think his second one's going to take me. Yeah, this is also why I run with Aqua Tail. There's nothing, if you're going to run a Drapion, there's really nothing in this league that you need to hit with the Sludge. But in that matchup, you need the Aqua Tail, and you need the Aqua Tail for, you don't need it for Bastion, but it helps for Bastion, and it helps in the mirror match. So there's a lot of things that it just, Aqua Tail is better if you're going to use it. This matchup, I shield up the Moonblast thinking like, okay, they're going to uh, just go for it because there's no point of throwing a resisted Grass Knot. So I do shield. And then they decide to get out into a Apollyon, so that's fine. I can throw this. Again, just go for shield. And I have, and they give up Switcher when they're super low, which I don't love. Because now you just come in, take that out. The Cresselia is already very low. So I can actually just probably, I'm going to shield and just counter down. I know Moonblast is oh, it's just Grass Knot. I was about to say, Moonblast probably wouldn't take me out because it's only neutral because I'm half poison. So now I just farm down all the way. What's in the back? Bastion. This game is over because I resist everything. They're going to be able to farm me down, but not before I do good counter damage and get the second shield here. So get the second shield. Counter damage already done. I'm going to come in Drifblim right away because I can either throw an icy... I can either get to a Shadow Ball and do super chip damage or just try and throw an icy wind. And I think they recognize like, yeah, they have to do it. And then I'm like, at this point, one shielded, Aqua Tail, and they only throw Flamethrower. I don't know why. And then I just throw the Icy Wind, lower the attack, one shielded, Drapion super spammy. We'll get to the Aqua Tail, no problem here. Drapion is so spammy. So like, again, in theory, it worked. why it stopped working is I started seeing Drapion, not Drapion, Bastion leads. So here we go, Bastion leads, which is okay. Like you got to try and draw out one of the ground anyways. But here we go. So Bastion lead. If you have a Bastion lead, you probably have something to deal with a fighter in the back. So you, like I said, you probably have Gastrodon, you have a Toxicroak. So we CMP tie here. So I'm just gonna shield because I can take this down to the one shield. Which again, if you're gonna lose in the mid, try and take it down to the one shield. That's always my advice if you can, because they're gonna have to throw here, or else I'm gonna get this move off. That's fine, and now I can come farm a bunch and have a move coming out. Because if you stay in the two shield, the problem is, yes, I can farm down here too, but I'm expecting some sort of Gastrodon or something else that will deal with fighters. Like they're gonna have a Toxicroak answer in the back. Like, I think I'm drawing dead on this one probably. Because they're probably gonna have a Toxicroak answer in the back. So out comes my Toxicroak, and there's your Drifblim, right? So similar team to mine idea, just better alignment. There's nothing I can do here. And it's tough. And the problem with this is when you run into the Bastion lead and you have just something that loses pretty hard to it, they have two answers for Bastion on the back, right? So the main answers to Bastion are Toxicroak, Lucario, uh, Gastrodon. So you're going to have something that beats the ground and beats the fighters. And most of the fighters in this are either weak to fighting or have poison. So you have a fighter like they had Toxicroak to beat me, which I had no option when they brought with my Drapion, and they had a Drifblim, which is I have no move to throw a Drifblim. Everything is resisted. And I think so. This is a different matchup. I think it's the same sort of scenario here. Bastion lead. This time they stay in, but even in this matchup, you still lose. You lose on one shield, and I think I grab a shield, but I still lose. And I think they have an answer in the back to Drapion or to Drifblim, anyways. So it's one of those with the meta so limited, and this is the problem with this league and any sort of cup with the limited meta. There's only so many Pokemon that can be used, so there's only so many things that you need to worry about countering, right? Where Bastion can have like 10 different everything from Azumarill with a Hydro Cannon to Galarian Stunfisk to Fighters and Open. There's really only like 5 Pokemon that are going to counter it in this meta, right? Gastrodon, like I mentioned, Gastrodon, Lucario, Toxicroak, all those. And then you can easily counter them because the meta is so limited. So they come in with their own Drifblim, but they're up a shield at this point. So I go for CMP, that's great, get the Icy Wind, but it doesn't matter, they're going to outpace me, they have an extra shield, and then Toxicroak can't do anything. So someone else mentioned in the chat that they ran this team, Drifblim, Drapion, and Lucario. Lucario probably is better in this meta, quite honestly, for this, because of these scenarios here, and they make a great catch on a Frostlass, which is dangerous, because I could have thrown the Shadow Wall. But again, Drifblim, Frostlass backline with a Bastion lead is a very, very common core and nothing I can do here. So I think if you want to run this team, I probably prefer what the subscriber, I forget his name, sorry, mentioned with running Lucario in the back here. I think it's better. Again, the team's not terrible. It just, if you see a tough lead, the meta's so limited that you're just kind of screwed in the back. So that is the team. So I dropped down a lot because I went like, yeah, because I dropped a bunch and then I tried another team and I lost a bunch. So I was down to like 2740, something like that. And then I ran a team, which I think I'm going to showcase on Sunday. So I think I'm going to showcase it on Sunday. So drip and lead, same thing. I don't think I either get out fast enough or I forget what happens here. But let me go over my schedule here or they catch on a Munchlax, which is not terrible. Just that they're loaded with energy, and I don't want to take these licks. I just come in here, and again, Drifblim is such a hard answer for Toxicroak. If I had Lucario, I would have something to threaten the Drifblim with. So if you want to run this team, run Lucario. So I did an AB beat style team with something that I don't think I saved it here. I'm not showcasing here, but it was a team I went against this morning, and I was like, Oh, I really like this team. So I went and I got a bunch of yellow back. I think I did like, what did I do? Two and a bit sets, and I got back to like 2,800. And then I did one set with another team that I'm up to 2,850 right now. So I got all the yellow that I lost back here, which is good, plus a little bit more. Plus, I wanted to do the video on lessons learned. So what I think the schedule is going to be is, I don't know if I have a short yet. I'll probably throw up some short on Saturday. People don't really watch YouTube on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll do this team, ABB style team that worked very well for me and got me the yellow back that I liked that on Sunday. And then on Monday, I think I want to do the lessons learned. And then Tuesday, maybe I can hit legend with this other team. Like I said, I got to like 2,850 on a 4-1 with a misplay on my part. I should have been a 5-0 there. But so it's working well. I'll try and see if I can run with it this weekend. I'm headed back to Hamilton, see my family this weekend. So I will maybe have to film there. We CMP too. I had the move, but just lost there. So the schedule, and then what is the following week? Because that'll take us into Tuesday when I showcase this team that I like. And then we only have 4 weeks left after this, so we are getting somewhat to the ending. Element Cup. Okay, well at least Great League is on. Element Cup is Element the 500. Yeah, 500. Yeah, it's a little cup. So Element Cup is a little cup, 500 CP with fire, grass, and water only. No, thank you. That is way too rock paper scissors for my liking. But the Great League is on. So I'll probably still put out an Element Cup team because it's happened before. But the main focus will be Great League for that. So that is it. Thanks for watching. Let me know how you're doing. 4 weeks left after this, so I hope you are doing all right and pushing towards legend if that is your goal, or pushing towards whatever, like veteran, expert, whatever your goal is this season. That's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.